on.
Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the Backyard Cricket England podcast. It is very cold and very early here in the UK, but it is also very worth it because we have another special guest from around the world of backyard cricket. Logan Strange has joined me all the way from New Zealand. Logan, welcome to the podcast, mate. How are you?
I'm great, Alex. It's not so cold over here at the moment. We're sort of halfway through spring, so we're looking forward to a nice warm summer. Bit of backyard cricket possibly on the horizon, and looking forward to it.
Yeah, going back to 2008, I think might make you possibly one of the longest running backyard cricket teams in the world, possibly anywhere. Do you want to tell us about those early days then? How did you find it setting it all up? Did it just start as a little laugh between a few mates kind of thing? How did it all get going and how was the first few years for you?
Yeah, well, the guys that set it up, this is the Napier BYC Invitational. I think they just set it up over a couple of beers one night, thinking, who's the better batter, who's the better bowler, and it kind of got settled the next day in the backyard. And that was in March. We had our first events at the end of summer here in New Zealand, and then the following every year on the 27th of December is when we have the event. So the following December, 9 months later, was our first sort of official event. We filmed it, we made a DVD out of it, and all the memories are there from 2008. And I think we had 6 teams, four aside back then, and I think it grew to about 8 teams or 9 teams at its peak. And it's been through 3 or 4 different venues. It's been at Jesse Ryder's house for the past 6 or 7 years. So Jesse's been the host, which has been incredible. Really, he's got a nice little backyard with a few difficult areas, and it's good fun. Yeah, so I guess it all comes from the Napier BYC competition, which we've been running for a while, as I mentioned earlier. You sort of just think about, you see how the guys look forward to it every year, and it starts to make you think, gee, I wonder how many other people around the country would love to, play in a structured backyard cricket event. We all play cricket and whatnot, but a bit of BYC, it's a lot more lighthearted and a bit easy to play. So put the thinking cap on, and after probably about a year and a half of planning, launched the Backyard Bash in 2017. The Backyard Bash was six regional tournaments around the North Island, New Zealand. We would travel to those regional tournaments every weekend, pretty much, for the first couple of months of the year. And the winning team from each of those tournaments would go to the New Zealand Champs, where they would play on a live stream with commentary at the Ellerslie Racecourse, which is a horse racing venue in the centre of Auckland, during one of their meets. So we had 6 teams who qualified for the New Zealand Champs, and it came down to a team from Hawke's Bay, basically a bunch of guys who play in the Napier tournament that we'd been playing in for the last 15 years, and a team from Taranaki. And the OGs from Hawke's Bay took that one out, the inaugural New Zealand Champs, and it was a pretty tense final. Like I said, all live streamed with commentary, and 2 commentary teams, so 4 commentators, and there's $5,000 up for grabs, so it was good prize money for 5 guys. Lots of other sponsors, bits and pieces. So it just grew. Every year it got bigger and bigger. Our 3rd season got interrupted by COVID, unfortunately. But after that New Zealand Champs, the OGs won, we decided to take the New Zealand team to Australia, and we called them the Blackyards, and took the OGs, the 5 players from the OGs, and then we selected a few players from the Fitzroy Falcons, from Taranaki, and then a few other guys to fill in, including myself, who just sort of happened to make the team, 12th man, so to speak. And yeah, we I've been speaking to Brendan for a long time, and obviously been following his YouTube channel, and the series that he puts on. Um, and obviously it really stands out as an entertaining watch, and something that I think everyone would really like to be involved in. And so, Brendan and I talked about it for a while when we decided, yep, we'll take a New Zealand team to play the WCG boys.
So in terms of the present, what does the landscape look like for you at the moment? How is New Zealand backyard cricket shaping up sort of around now?
Yeah, well, like I said, since COVID interrupted the third season of the Backyard Bash, and it was unfortunate too because we just had the biggest regional comp. It was up in Auckland. We had 18 teams, 3 fields going, amazing tournament, and got interrupted. We didn't get to do the Hawke's Bay or the Bay of Plenty event or the New Zealand Champs. But since then, COVID was around for a couple of years and it was pretty hard to run an event. And so it kind of just died off, and you sort of feel like, oh, maybe it's time to move on and whatnot. But there's always been a little bit of an inkling in the background, thinking, gee, like maybe there is some unfinished business. And just over the past 12 months, just been tinkering with a few ideas, switching it up a bit from the Backyard Bash. And there is something in the sort of a plan for hopefully February next year, 2026. It's not going to be the Backyard Bash. Something slightly different. It's basically my goal is we're not going to be traveling around the regions, but instead we're going to be launching New Zealand's first ever professional backyard cricket league. So trying to flip social sport on its head, because we've all played social, whether it's twilight cricket or last man stands or like a social touch league or any sort of social leagues. But the key to a social league is it's pay to play.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do is make it paid to play. So these guys and girls, whoever plays, is going to be paid to actually play in this tournament, because it's going to be a YouTube series, the same as WCG. So 2 games a week released onto video with commentary, with multiple cameras, and I need the best of the best, because no one's going to watch, backyard cricket that isn't the best of the best players. So we're going to be having trials, BYC combines, and there's 8 captains, pretty much all selected at this stage, and then players can come down to the BYC combine and show us what they've got, and they'll be selected into a draft, and the captains select their players from the draft. Each of the teams will be sponsored by a local business, and that's where the funds come from in order to pay the players for their duty. So flipping it upside down, trying to try something new, seeing how it goes, and I think there's it's all about trying something a little bit different, and as far as I'm aware, it's rather unique.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. I really, really hope you get that off the ground. It sounds fantastic. So sponsors needed for anyone who's watching this. Any businesses watching this in New Zealand, sponsors needed. Get in touch. And it is all good news at the moment, isn't it? Because it's not just that event that you're planning at the moment. I understand you've got a bit of a relationship on the go with New Zealand cricket themselves at the moment. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, it's not a new thing. It's been a few years now, but we have signed as one of the partners of New Zealand Cricket, along with other, I guess, cricket entities. Indoor cricket, disabled cricket, are all signed up as well. But being a partner of New Zealand Cricket, means that we are recognised as a formal form of cricket.
Yeah, exactly. And it is an exciting time for you guys. It's an exciting time for backyard cricket. And we're hoping, obviously, we can get something on the go together, possibly an England v New Zealand series at some point. If that was to happen, who's winning?
Well, I think you said it earlier. We have the pedigree. So
Yes.
we did struggle. I think one of the big issues that we need to get over is the consumption of liquids. Maybe too much of one and not enough of another. Um, I know from the experience of playing over in the Napier tournament, consumption of the golden liquid is a big part of it, and I think that may have tripped us up on both of our ventures over to the WCG.
Worth it though.
Worth
I
it, yeah,
thought that,
definitely
yeah,
worth
we
it.
thought they were brilliant, the Kiwi
Yeah,
boys, and it's all part of the fun, isn't it?
yeah. I
But
mean, winning's a big part, and obviously we're all passionate once we get on that field, and it's crazy how competitive backyard gets. Um, and it should be. It's all about competition and having a bit of banter with your mates. But at the end of the day, it wasn't the end of the world. We had a great time over there, and we went into town, that night and had a good night out in Sydney and whatnot. But I think that yeah, I think you guys would struggle. Different sort of pitch over in Oz. We're sort of accustomed to that sort of stuff here, and especially up the northern parts. The northern New Zealand. The kikuyu grass, similar to what you get in Sydney. So yeah.
yeah, well, it's all for the future, and hopefully that will happen one day. We'd love to meet you guys again and have another experience against you guys. In the meantime, that's all we've got time for on the Backyard Cricket Podcast today. Logan Strange, thank you very, very much for coming on with us. Before we end this, I just want to ask you, is there one final message you want to give to New Zealand backyard cricket fans or backyard cricket fans around the world? Is there anything you want to say to the people who might be watching?
Yeah, just keep it listen out over the next couple of months. We are expecting to announce hopefully by the end of November what is on the cards for February. It is the Backyard Bash Facebook page. There's a website coming, but it's like the Backyard Bash Facebook page or the Backyard Cricket New Zealand Facebook page are the two best places to keep an eye out.
Thank you very much, Logan. Thank you so much for being here. Everybody at home watching this on the Backwerds Podcast, as ever, the full version with Logan will be available in a couple of days' time. Thank you all for your time, and we want to again thank our Power Play Sports, our sponsors here in the UK. And we'll see you all next time on the Backyard Cricket England Podcast. Logan, thank you.
Cheers, Alex.
Oh, that's there's a few of you that are pains in the arse. Hi, I'm Alex Smith, captain of Backyard Cricket England, and this is my teammates revealed. Funniest player's got to be Jake Butler. Probably the funniest person I've ever met, to be honest. He's hilarious. Yeah, we all love Jake. Great sense of humour, brilliant fun. I'd probably say Rob Maguire, because he's quite a smart guy, quite a resourceful guy. I think he'd probably be irritating once he's having a strop, but yeah, no, I'd say Rob Maguire, I think. Biggest tight arse. Oh, there's a few candidates for this one. There's a few people I could call out here, but I'm gonna say, sorry, Gerps, but it's Gerpal Singh. We got a few for this one. There's a few people that could be really good captains in the future, but for a young player with a really good cricketing brain on him, and great leadership skills at such a young age, I'd say Albie Sharrock. I think he's got a lot of potential. Oh, I'm not going to lie, I'm up there. That could be me. Lewis Chapman, I remember falling down the ramp in a nightclub as well once. No, I'm going to say me. I think I've had my problems on nights out, yeah. I think the rest of the team would be mad at me if I didn't pick myself for that. Potential future star, one to watch that you'll hopefully see in Luxembourg when we go out there will be Zayan Mitten. I think you're going to be really excited to see him. He's got a lot of ability with bat and ball, and I think he could be a big star in the future for us. Oh, it's going to be me, definitely. I think, yeah. I think the team did a vote on that in Australia, and I won that one hands down. So I think, yeah, that's definitely me. Hardest player to captain. Oh, that's there's a few of you that are pains in the arse, but I'll say Rob Maguire again because he always wants to be involved. It's a good thing, but at the same time, you can't bowl every over, Rob, and you can't always bat at the top. But yeah, I'd say Rob Maguire just because he wants to be involved all the time, and sometimes it's a bugger trying to get the ball off him. There were a lot of them that were great fun. We really liked a lot of the Aussie boys. They were all fantastic. I really liked Joel Wodjick. I think the crowd favourite was Mickey Mabry. Brendan Scott's a brilliant lad. Pat McGregor was fantastic. I think I'll say Mabry just because he copped a lot of stick and he handled it so well. He was a lot of fun. Our biggest moaner in our team's Ricky. All day long, Ricky. If I don't pick Ricky, I have to pick me, and I've picked myself a couple of times already. So definitely Ricky. He's a moany bastard.
Oh, that's such good bowling from Yusuf Sharif. Wonderful stuff.
Sharif to White. Next, has it carried? Yes, it has. Umpire raises the finger. Sharif has the wicket. England on the charge. Matt White is gone for a duck. The Australian captain. Beautiful bowling from Sharif. In swinger, and then the out swinger. One ball to go in this over. Yusuf Sharif. Nicked and gone, and that is the end. England put out of their misery at last. An exhausted looking Sharif takes the final wicket, and he's deserved that. Brooks gone for 40. Full toss, nothing to it really from Sharif's point of view. Just miss-hit.
Just 3 deliveries to go. Sharif over the wicket. Oh, and I think that's out. Yeah, glanced it down the leg side. Bit of fortune for Yusuf Sharif. It's long overdue for him. Rabi Al-Bashar's entertaining innings comes to an end. Slower ball and knocked him over. Brilliantly bowled. Oh, that's terrific from Yusuf Sharif. Oh, he'll be thrilled at that. Very testing bowler to face. In the air. Gone! 4 down for England, and they've got the big one. And Mapleston with the catch. Yusuf Sharif, once again, the man for the big moment. Terrific start to this over from him. England are flying. Yusuf Sharif now. It's another slower ball, and it's another wicket. Oh, that's such good bowling from Yusuf Sharif. Wonderful stuff. Brilliant backyard entertainment from England. All their skills are on display today. In the air, Mapleston takes it. Australia falling apart in front of our eyes. What an incredible start for England. Yusuf Sharif has taken the big one. It's 1 for 3 in 7 deliveries. Up in the air, where's it going to land? It's out. England striking the super over. Harry Dean's gone, just 1 run on the board. It's advantage England. How hard they've worked for this over the last couple of hours, and Yusuf Sharif delivers in the biggest moment of his backyard career to date. I think it's a cutter, and it got a bit big stuck in the pitch, and Boruc's reaction priceless. Up in the air and gone. First ball, Yusuf Sharif. Once again, it's Sharif that delivers. The ever unusual world of Blakey Lambert. Sharif round the wicket to finish. Oh, that could be a nick, is it? It is. England have won, and they're heading to the World Cup final. A ruthless and dominant display this afternoon. They've buried New Zealand. Azar under the pump, and he has nicked this one, and that's gone. Azar's out. Reward for England for a brilliant spell from their bowlers. 10 runs in the last 5 overs. They wore Azar down, frustrated him and contained him, and Yusuf Sharif gets the reward, and that was coming.
He got like 4 wickets as well. It was outrageous. He was chucking pies and he was getting caught and everything. See, I didn't really have a childhood hero as such. Because I didn't get into sports till quite late, really. I'd say the first person I grew fond of, surprisingly, as I support Crystal Palace, was Michael Owen. And the first game I went to was Liverpool versus Crystal Palace, so I got to watch the team I support and see the person I'd admired as a child. Only one answer for me, and that would be to represent Europe at the Ryder Cup. More specifically, a home Ryder Cup. I just feel the atmosphere that you get there is just out of this world. See, it's a tough one for me because batting I either get a duck or I score 8. don't get many wickets. But I think my favourite one that I was a part of was when I was playing indoor in, I can't remember the venue, but it was when Rob Maguire got his hat-trick and the whole team just went nuts and were just sprinting around the pitch. It was great. Biggest regret? The first one that comes to mind is missing the Australia tour. But again, could it be a regret because it was something that was out of my control? I'd probably have to say not making it to Australia for the Backyard Ashes, because I don't really have too many regrets. But it can't be a regret because there's nothing I can do about it. So, I mean, against me, everyone's probably the best batter. But see, I'd like you could put Ricky up there, but you won't admit it. But in practice, I've cleaned him up a few times. Yeah, I'll probably either go with Ricky or Sam Dennis. Goes back to the sporting team, probably golf at the moment. But saying that, I've got really into sim racing recently. I can't drive, so I just drive in a virtual world. Ooh. So you could put this two ways. You could have in a domestic game where we was playing on top of a hill and it was more sixes than I've ever counted in my life. But then again, is it good for me because I was sat for 3 hours getting pad rash waiting to come in? Best game, I would probably have to be at Henfield when I opened for the first time and put together a 50 partnership alongside James Crowther. I'd say for me it was probably Jake Butler. That's the only reason. He's not the quickest, but with the tape ball, he can get so much swing that you can try and play a shot that you think is going wide and it will just come back in and take you out. Ooh, backyard cricket I was still so about. So, we was playing in Bromley. I could say I was getting my eye in a bit. I was on 8. Don't forget the 8. I'd hit Alvin for 2 nice cover drives to get the previous over. James Crowther comes in. It's the last ball. He's currently going for a maiden, and for some reason I thought the best idea would be to try and smash it for a 6, and I got a top edge and it's gone straight into the ceiling. It would be, I can't remember the team, but we had Neil Murphy going in for a bowl, and we had an old boy Hoff there, and I've never seen someone get so infuriated over a non-bowler bowling in all my life. And I just think, how could you get annoyed? You've got to learn to bowl one day. What's the problem doing it in a game? So I'd say that's probably the funniest I've seen.
Belvedere, I think.
Was it Belvedere?
Didn't Neil get like 3 wickets?
He got like 4 wickets as well. It was outrageous. He was chucking pies and he was getting caught and everything. The batsman, it was crazy, and every wicket was just getting more and more annoyed.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this, the first series of Backwerds Podcasts, and for our final special event, it's time to announce the Backyard Cricket England squad for our upcoming tour.
Jo, moin, wir sind Optimist Cricket Club hier in Luxembourg und wir sind der nächste Stopp von Backyard Cricket.
Richard, Will, you want to translate that for us?
Yeah, that was Luxembourgish, local dialect, and he was just saying, welcome to the Optimist Cricket Club, and we're looking forward to being the next stop for backyard cricket.
As regular viewers of this podcast will know, the BCE boys are heading to the Optimist Club in Luxembourg for a bilateral backyard cricket series, Luxembourg's first in their history. So let's see who's on the plane from Team England. Alex Smith. Newly appointed England skipper Smith will lead his nation in an international series for the first time. He's led his domestic side since BCE was formed in 2020 and has never lost a series in any format in that time. He was England's leading wicket taker in Australia and topped their World Cup run charts, and a hugely inexperienced touring team will be leaning heavily on Smith to produce his best form. Rob Maguire. Smith's vice-captain in Luxembourg doubles up as the team's deadliest weapon with the ball. He's a BCE all-time leading wicket-taker, and his unwavering aggression, allied to devastating late swing, will be invaluable for this experimental lineup. The only BCE bowler to claim a Test match hat-trick, and good enough as a batsman to have an unbeaten 166 to his name. He missed out on the Ashes and World Cup squads, but will be Smith's key lieutenant in his first taste of international action. James Hollands. 8 debutants make up the remaining 9 places, and the greenest of all is James Hollands. A long-time arthritis sufferer and a lifelong friend of Smith's, drafted in to help out. He's never played a game of organised cricket before, but has been working tirelessly in the nets and brings an irrepressible sense of fun to the dressing room. Tim Cavey. This whippish left armer is experienced in club cricket at 45 years of age, but this will be his first taste of backyard action. Smith rates him highly as an all-round cricketer, capable of giving it a good whack with the bat, but he's had his share of injury problems in the past. If his dodgy knees hold up, he could be a potent weapon with the ball. Zayan Mitten. Just 19 years of age and only began playing the game a couple of years ago as part of a weight loss regimen, but took to the sport like a duck to water. And just wait until you get a sight of this guy in full flow. A hard-hitting brute of a batter, good enough to have made 2 centuries in club cricket already and known to have cleared the pavilion at Addiscombe on more than one occasion. The real eye-catcher, however, is his bowling. He's already been talked about as potentially the fastest bowler in the backyard game, and certainly one to watch in this series. Mitesh Patel. Calm, composed and thoughtful, Mitesh joined ranks with Smith and Maguire at Woodside Green Cricket Club earlier this summer and made an immediate impression, leading to a late invite to the BCE squad. He's a solid all-round cricketer, and England regard him as a potential leader on and off the pitch. Alvin Sathya. What a story this is. A multiple county trialist, Alvin exploded onto the backyard scene at 15 years of age back in 2021 with his astounding double century in a domestic game at Eversley and his lightning quick, skillful bowling. But then came a devastating bout of Kikuchi fever which threatened his life and left him bedbound and unable to walk, talk or even eat. 4 years later, his rehab is still ongoing, but this series represents his first return to cricket of any kind since his diagnosis. That famous Alvin grin never left his face despite all those hardships, and Backyard Cricket England are honoured to have this remarkable young man back among our ranks once again. Sati Sathya. Alvin's dad and the first of 2 father-son duos in this England squad, Sati did briefly appear as a substitute in a domestic test in 2020 and even claimed the wicket with his, dubious bowling action. A true gentleman and one of the game's nice guys. Albi Sharrock will become England's youngest ever backyard international at just 16 years of age. Captain Smith is known to rate this young man very highly, and his energy and enthusiasm in the field could be almost as valuable as his stylish batting. We'll hope for better luck than he had in club cricket earlier this year when he was run out for a career best 99 after a mix-up with his partner, his own father, Lance. Lance Sharrock. And Lance it is who joins us in a BCE squad for the first time. South Africa born and shares that combative edge common among the great Proteas players of yesteryear. A lovable eccentric off the field and a born entertainer on it. Keep an eye out for his infamous switch hits on this tour. Thiru Ramasamy. Rounding off the touring party is our final debutant, Thiru Ramasamy. Another eccentric character but a reliable cricketer. He's a canny operator with the ball and brings a calm consistency to proceedings. A bit of an unknown quantity with the bat, but England feel he could be perfectly suited to this type of cricket. And so there you have it, the Backyard Cricket England squad for the historic 2025 Luxembourg Tour. Big thank you once again to our incredible sponsors Powerplay Cricket, who made all this possible, and you can find their details in the description below. It's been great fun bringing you our first ever BCE podcast series, and we hope you've all enjoyed the weird and wonderful moments along the way. The time for talking is over, the time for action is upon us, so remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you in Luxembourg.
What is this peasant stuff? Come on.